No one else wants to sign the public hearing?
How do you say his last name? How do you say his last name? Mom.
Mom. Okay.
Mom. Like mom. Mom.
Brad, Mom.
Yep. All right, let's go.
The William County Regional Planning Commission is now called to order. We have a quorum. Do we have any announcements, staff?
I do have a few things, Mr. Chairman. First, you have a revised attachment 38-1 in front of you. That's the schedule of meetings for next year. There's been a minor revision to that, so that is in front of you this evening. We also have a number of withdrawals. Items 27, 29, 30, and 35 have all been withdrawn from the agenda. Finally, I'll note that I mentioned last month that we'll be starting the Arrington Special Area Plan in the near future. We're in the process of finalizing, assembling an advisory committee for that, and we'll be asking you to confirm the makeup of that committee at your November meeting. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Item 4 is the public comment. We didn't have anybody sign up for that,
Yes. Oh, sorry.
so we'll move on to consideration of the minutes of last month's meeting. Has everybody had a chance to read them? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion.
That's Brian.
Again, Brian, okay. Consideration of the consent agenda. Ms. Hatcher?
Mr. Chairman, I am recusing myself of the consent agenda.
Okay, thank
You
you.
didn't take a vote. You had a motion and a second, but you didn't take a vote.
I'm sorry, I didn't take a vote on the minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda, Commissioner Hatcher has,
Yes,
Okay.
recusing myself, and I will abstain.
okay. Is there anyone that wants to, any one of the members that want to take anything off the consent agenda to hear separately? If not, we'll take it as a whole. Do we have a motion? Commissioner Richards? We have a second. Ms. Poultry? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carries. Item number 26, a preliminary plat review for Stones Ridge subdivision, large lot easements containing 5 lots on 63.92 acres located off of Harper School Road in the 2nd voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, the applicant is requesting deferral to the November 2023 Planning Commission meeting to allow the applicant more time to address staff comments. Staff concurs with this request.
Motion for second. Motion by Commissioner Lane.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll go to the public hearing portion. We have an amendment to section 11.03B of the zoning ordinance regarding family subdivisions. Staff?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Section 11.03B10 of the zoning ordinance outlines specific standards for family subdivisions, which are defined as the division of a lot or parcel for the purpose of sale or gift to a member of the immediate family of the property owner where the lot to be created does not meet the minimum size requirement of the zoning district in which it's located. The family subdivision provisions were created in order to allow the creation of a lot that is less than 5 acres in size, even though it is located in a zoning district that otherwise requires lots of 5 acres or greater, if such lot is to be sold or given to a member of one's immediate family. In order to ensure that this family subdivision option isn't misused, the ordinance requires that a restrictive covenant be placed on the property prohibiting its transfer to a non-immediate family member for a period of 15 years following recordation of the subdivision. However, staff was recently made aware of a situation where a lender was unwilling to approve a construction loan for a family subdivision lot because the lender felt that the language of the restrictive covenant would prohibit the bank from taking over the property in event of a foreclosure. To address this and other similar circumstances, staff is proposing to add language that would allow a family subdivision lot to be transferred to a non-immediate family member within the 15-year period when such lot is subject to an involuntary transfer, such as foreclosure, death, judicial sale, condemnation, or bankruptcy. Staff recommends approval of this text amendment, believing that the proposed language provides for circumstances that are beyond the control of the property owner while continuing to ensure that the family subdivision option is not misused.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. They will come up to the podium and give us their name and address. And we have 2 people on the agenda right now. Brad, Mom.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to take this moment to say thank you all for considering this. This was something I think we were all blindsided by. I understand the restriction in the covenant is intended to be there to protect the interest of the community and not allow the property to be misused. We stand with that decision and we agree with it. Our hope was to take this 5 acres of my mom's land that she inherited from my grandparents, subdivide that into 2 properties so I could build my family home, my mom could build her home. Unfortunately, the language was restrictive and the banks would not allow for us to obtain a construction loan. When I brought this to Mr. Madison's attention, he was very helpful in working with me to listen to my concerns and propose some language that would overcome that objection from the banks. So that is what we're reviewing this evening, so thank you all for that. There is one point of concern that I do not believe that this language does address. However, I believe it addresses about 90% of the concern that we have, which is I do believe this will allow us to obtain a construction loan based on the bank's input that I've received. One thing I do want to consider as a family man who is a single income provider for my family is if there was an event where I lost my job, if I was no longer able to pay my mortgage, if there was some kind of a financial hardship. This language does not address something like that, where there is a verifiable loss of income that would necessitate the sale of the home. I don't want my home to have to go into foreclosure before I could sell it if such an event did occur. Now, I don't expect there to be any decision on that made this evening, but I would ask that you would consider that for maybe a future amendment down the road. As far as the language has been presented this evening, I am grateful for it, and I do believe that it will at least allow us to obtain a construction loan so we can start building our family homes. I would just ask that you would consider future language that would allow us to protect our family's investment in the event that I lost my job, my brother-in-law lost his job, my mom lost her job, and we would no longer be able to pay for our mortgages. So that would just be something that I would request that you would consider for perhaps a future event. Okay, thank you all. Appreciate your time.
Debbie, Mom.
Everyone, thank you very much again. I get a little teary with this. It was my parents.
What's your name and
Oh, I'm
address,
so
please?
sorry. Yes, my name is Debbie Mall. My address is 4345 Spyglass Drive, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So I'm renting right now, waiting to be able to build. This was my parents' land, and I inherited it. Our whole intent was to have our family together. So that's our intent. Again, my concern with this, my son did speak about that. I'm retired. I'm not working at the moment, so I have a fixed income. I'm going to be investing a lot into the property. So I, again, want to make sure that if, for some reason, God forbid, that we should have to sell because of some kind of death, catastrophe, whatever it might be, that I would not lose out on everything that we have or that I have. So that's why I appreciate my son bringing that up. If you would consider language to make that really clear so that it can't be construed down the road or misinterpreted down the road. So that's just my concern. And again, I know that's not going to be addressed tonight. We do thank you. I do thank you for considering the language that Mr. Madison has put forward, and I thank you so much for looking into that for us. So just thank you. I want to be here. I want to be here. So thank you.
Others that signed up tonight, we'll close the public hearing at this time, and we'll go to the commission for comments or questions. Seeing none, do we have a motion on this item?
Motion to approve it.
Okay, Eddie.
Staff recommendations.
Motion is second by Commissioner Richards. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 29 has been withdrawn, and 30 has been withdrawn. Item 31 in preliminary plats. Preliminary plat review for Little Creek Farm subdivision containing 18 lots on 57.08 acres located on Wilson Pike in the 4th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Concept plan for this development was approved by this body at the August 2022 meeting, and the applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the development, which contains 18 lots and 23.54 acres of open space. The plat is consistent in layout with the approved concept plan. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat with the following conditions, which must be addressed in conjunction with final plat submittal. Number one, prior to the submittal of the first final plat, off-site roadway improvements on Wilson Pike, as specified by the county's traffic consultant, must be completed to the satisfaction of TDOT. Number two, prior to consideration of final plat approval, the applicant shall submit HOA documents for review and approval by the county attorney's office. The approved HOA documents must be recorded concurrently with the recording of the final plat. Number three, establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control. Number four, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Millcrofton Utility District. Number five, submission of landscaping plans and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping improvements. Number six, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And number seven, submission of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plan Coordinate System prior to signature and recording of the plat.
Question from the commission? Statements? Do we have a motion on this item? Richard?
Second.
Lane? Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 32, preliminary plat review for for Bailey Cove subdivision containing 5 lots on 42.84 acres located on Columbia Pike in the 11th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, the applicant is requesting deferral to the November 2023 Planning Commission meeting to allow the applicant more time to address staff comments. Staff concurs with this request.
Any questions, comments, or motion?
Motion to defer.
Lane? Do we have a second from Richard? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 33, preliminary plat for the Arbors at Leapers Fork subdivision containing 18 lots on 379 acres located on Hargrove Road in the 1st voting district. Staff?
Mr. Chairman, the applicant for this one is also requesting a deferral to the November meeting, and we support that.
Thank you. Questions? Motion? Richard?
Second.
Eddie? Thank you. We go to the final plats, item 34, we already did.
Forgot to take all full vote on the motion.
Got to vote.
You did on first and second, but you didn't vote.
All in favor of item number 33, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, I'm sorry. Final plat on item 34 was on the consent agenda. Item 35 withdrawn. Item 36, establishment of a landscaping bond for landscaping improvements for Robert Jones tile and carpet on 2.34 acres located on Horton Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Board of Zoning Appeals approved a request for a special use permit to allow a light industrial use on the subject property at the September 2023 meeting, and the site plan for this use has been reviewed by staff. However, due to the cost of the required landscaping and pursuant to Section 16.07 of the zoning ordinance, a performance bond for landscaping improvements must be established by the Planning Commission prior to final site plan approval by staff. The submitted plans must meet the requirements of the zoning ordinance. Staff recommends the establishment of a performance bond for landscaping improvements in the amount of $32,200.
Commission for any questions, comments on this item? Do we have a motion?
Move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Richards?
Second.
Second, Lane. Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 37, the election of officers. At this time, we'll open up the election for chairman. Do we have anyone? We have Sammy McCoy nominated as chairman. Do we have any other nominations? Do we have any other nominations? At this time, we'll close the nominations. All in favor of Sammy McCoy as chairman, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll go to the vice chairmanship. Do we have a nomination for the vice chairmanship?
I nominate Don Crohan.
Second.
You have both? Okay. We have a nomination for Don Crohan for vice chairman. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The secretary. We need a nomination for the secretary.
Nominate Michael
Michael Madison nominated for secretary. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Nomination closed. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you. And Secretary Pro Tem. We have a nomination for the Secretary Pro Tem.
I nominate Mary Holmes. Second.
Okay, Arnold Holmes is nominated. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? We'll close the nominations. Do we have a motion to accept Arnold Holmes as Secretary Pro Tem? Richard? Okay. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, item 38, the Planning Commission submitted a schedule for the meeting for 2024. Has everybody had a chance to look at that? Do we have any problems with it? Any questions? Do we have a motion to accept it? Rahman. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Are there any other business for the commission at this time?
Move to adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
And